and they announced the top jersey sellers from October to December of 2015. And I'll give you the top five right now. Number one is Curry. Two is LeBron James. Three is Kobe Bryant. Four is Knicks sensation Kristaps Porzingis. And fifth is Kevin Durant. The first thing I guess I'll ask you, are you surprised by this list?
Not really. I mean, Curry is probably is the most popular player right now just because of the great NBA Finals, and he has been basically the best player in the league for the last year and a half. LeBron is pretty standard. He's going to be on that list no matter what. Kobe probably got a boost in his jersey sales simply because of his retirement. Everybody wants to get it while they can. Porzingis has taken the league by storm, basically. I mean, when you consider where he came from when he was drafted and the impact he made on the team from his debut in October, it's not really surprised that he's that far on the list. It is surprising that he's ahead of Durant, though, just considering that he is Durant, but I'm not really surprised he's on the list.
Well, the rest of the list, I'll just run through the rest of the list quickly. 6 is Derrick Rose, 7 is Russell Westbrook, 8 is Kyrie Irving, 9 is James Harden, and this one was actually a surprise to me. Number 10 was Jimmy Butler of the Chicago Bulls. That was a surprise to me.
Yeah, his highest showing ever on the jersey list, but I mean, he's become the face of the Bulls franchise, basically, so, I mean, that's why he's on there. It is kind of surprising he's ahead of guys like Anthony Davis and Paul George. They came in, George was 12th, Davis was 13th. Chris Paul has dropped all the way to 14th, and Melo's dropping down to 15 now. So, I mean, it is surprising that Butler's coming in ahead of those guys, but like I said, he's the one who's basically taken over as the face of the franchise. So,
yeah, I just think this list, I mean, you're looking at guys who are multiple-time All-Stars. I mean, Curry's multiple-time, LeBron James is multiple times, Kobe's multiple times. I mean, you got Porzingis here at 4. I think the two biggest surprises I take from this list is that Porzingis is 4, being that he is only a rookie. I mean, he just started in October, and I remember I was watching the draft that night when they drafted him, and I remember saying to a friend of mine, I'm like, why are they taking this guy? And I think realistically, I'm one of the people who have jumped on the Porzingis bandwagon as saying he's probably one of the best pickups the Knicks have had in the last 20 years or so.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show you can't really make a decision on players just based on one night alone. You have to wait until you see them on the court. And the truth is, I don't think anybody really thought he was going to acclimate to the NBA and show the energy that he has shown since the beginning of the season. So, I mean, it was clear from opening night. And me personally, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I wasn't necessarily as against it as some people. But, I mean, when you hear everything he was saying in the interviews, the way he approached training camp and the preseason, the energy he brought, the enthusiasm, the fact that he is tougher as a player than most people really thought he was going to be, it's no real surprise that he's become one of the cornerstones for the Knicks fan base. And to me, it just kind of shows the impact that the Knicks fan base and the New York market has on the league, where you get a rookie like Porzingis, and he's on the list ahead of guys like Durant and Westbrook and Kyrie Irving and James Harden and all those guys.
Well, I think it's interesting, though, because of the fact, I mean, the Knicks right now, they are a 500 team right now, so they're not obviously, I still think they're going to be a playoff team when the time comes, just because of how weak the East is right now. But to be honest, the fact that Porzingis is fourth on this list, and like you were just saying before, he's ahead of guys like Durant, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook. These are guys who are established people in the NBA, and you have this guy in Porzingis who's literally he's taken the league by storm. I mean, I don't want to compare him to guys like Jeremy Lin because he's had a much longer stay so far than Jeremy Lin did, but I hope this doesn't turn into all of a sudden the next season rolls around, and all of a sudden then he goes back to being not a good player anymore.
Well, I mean, that's a good comparison just when you consider the impact he had, the whole Linsanity thing. There is a lot of parallels between Porzingis' impact and the impact Lin had. But like I said, I think it's also a case of the New York market. The New York market is a lot larger than a market like Oklahoma City or even Houston and to an extent Cleveland when you think about it. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not totally surprised just because I think the Knicks fan base has been looking for a player they can get behind almost since Patrick Ewing left. So to have a
Yeah.
guy like Porzingis come in and exceed expectations the way he has, I just think it's something the whole fan base was craving.